Today is April 9th. Picture yourself sitting in class. Let's say government. The teacher is giving a lecture about the executive branch. You just got back from lunch and feel like you're ready for a nap. At this point, you feel your vision slowly start to shift towards the window. You see the sun shining down and the trees are slowly moving in the wind. And then you see a bird land in a nest. It isn't until the teacher says that there's a test the next day that you realize you're spacing off the entire time. Okay, well maybe this isn't you, but it most certainly is me. You see, with my ADD, it doesn't matter how good Mr. Schmitz is, that little birdie is better. According to Professor Chelsea Robertson at UCLA's Institute for Neuroscience and Human Behavior, there are benefits to distractions. But what are they? Well, what if I told you that studies show that distractions can actually help you? Who knew? So today, I'm going to be showing you how distractions can be a good thing. First, I will talk about how we, as people, get distracted. Next, I will show you the health benefits of distractions. And finally, we will discuss how distractions can help with creativity. Hopefully, by the end of my speech, you will feel better about watching that 15-second cat video on YouTube. So, first, I will talk about how we as people get distracted so easily. So, as it turns out, our brains are designed to be distracted. How do I know this? Well, I read about it in an article by Daphne LaPrince-Ringwet titled Pure Scientific Proof that Your Brain is Designed to be Distracted. Neuroscientists at Princeton University and the University of California have discovered that instead of having laser-like attention, our ability to focus is something that actually seems to blink off and on continuously. In fact, you're most likely taking in half or even part of my speech because the average human takes in or spaces in and out of attention 4 times a second. In between these little bursts of attention, there are periods of distractions. And during these periods of distractions, the brain is able to look around and take in anything that may seem more important. For example, a grizzly bear. If there is no danger or no bear, then the brain goes back to work. Ian Fiebelkorn, a research scholar at Princeton's Neuroscience Institute, or PNI, states that the brain can't process everything. It's developed these filtering processes that allow it to take in some information at the expense of other information. PNI studies have also shown that brain rhythms have been linked to different brain states: focus and distractibility. At the peak of a brainwave, we are distracted, while at the trough of a brainwave, we can concentrate. So, distracted, concentrated, distracted, concentrated, distracted, concentrated, distracted, concentrated, distracted, concentrated. Oh, I'm sorry. Next, I will show you the health benefits of distractions. In her book, Super Better, The Power of Living Gamefully, Dr. Jay McGonigal tells us how we can use distractions to help reduce pain. Some distractions, like video games, can actually help us both physically and psychologically. The American Journal of Preventive Medicine notes that 38 medical studies have been done testing the use of video games as a solution for multiple types of therapy. After all the studies were done, 195 outcomes were looked at, and as it turns out, 69% of psychological therapy was improved because of the video games. And in addition, using the video games as a distraction actually helped reduce pain by 42%. So, using the video games as a distraction not only helps our minds, but also our bodies. My second example of healthy distractions is my father. If you don't know my dad, then you wouldn't really know that he's a real do-it-himself kind of guy. For years, he has went out to his tool bench in the garage, worked for hours at a time, then come in for supper before ultimately passing out on the couch while watching The Big Bang Theory. And despite his stubbornness for not coming inside earlier when we want him to, he's still a really hard worker, and I respect that in him. But about a year or two ago, even he realized he was working too long and hard out there. So he got a TV for himself in the garage, and now he takes the occasional break. And ever since then, he's been feeling a lot better. So, finally, let's discuss how distractions can help with creativity. So, if you've ever heard of Sir Isaac Newton and his 3 laws, then you'll know that he was the one who discovered gravity. But he didn't discover gravity while studying in his lab, but while outside under an apple tree. According to BBC News Timeline, while outside relaxing under an apple tree, Newton was startled when all of a sudden an apple fell out of the tree and landed on the ground right next to him. That's right. The legend about an apple hitting Newton on the head is a lie. But anyways, after this moment, Newton got to work and started researching more and more about gravity. And then he created his 3 laws of motion. And ever since then, we've expanded upon his research even more. Now, according to an article by Fast Company, author Stephanie Voza explains that highly creative people explore the universe around them and look at things that grab their attention. So they let themselves get distracted just for the sake of improving their creativity. And in her book, Your Creative Brain, 7 Steps on How to Maximize Imagination, Creativity, and Innovation in Your Life, Shelley H. Carson explains that highly creative people pretty much find everything to be interesting. And in an article titled The Aging Brain Benefits from Distractions, it adds that as a person gets older and starts to lose their ability to focus, they start to wander and explore the universe around them, and they find more creative solutions to harder problems. Which means that as I get older and start to lose my ability to focus, I'll get even more distracted than I already am. I guess I'll look forward to that. So, today I talked about how distractions can be beneficial to your life. First, I talked about how we as people get distracted. The reason? Bears. Second, I showed you the health benefits of getting distracted. And finally, we discussed how distractions can help with creativity. So, pretty much anyone gets annoyed from getting distracted, especially Mr. Schmitz. But once you get to know more about being distracted, then I'm pretty sure then I'm pretty sure everyone will change their minds and look another way about getting distracted. I mean, unless you're Mr. Schmitz. Thank you.